AI is probably the most important thing humanity has ever worked on. I think of it as something more profound than electricity or fire. And anytime you work with technology, you need to learn to harness the benefits and while minimizing the downsides. Stepping back, when you think about a lot of problems in the world, today it's because we typically have a constraint on resources. AI, for the first time, I think over time, offers a different construct. Things which are constrained and look like a zero-sum game today may not be so in the future. Take education, for example. It's really difficult to educate people in a cost-effective way. AI may fundamentally change that equation. It may make it possible for us to have clean, cheap, renewable energy for the future. So I think a lot of things will play out in more positive ways than people think. But the risks are important, and I think the way we solve it is we think ahead, we worry about it, we do things like be upfront, have ethical charters, think about AI safety from day one, be very transparent and open in how we pursue progress there, and figure out global frameworks by which we can engage. Just like Paris Agreement and climate change, using forums like this, I think we bring people together to engage on the hard questions. And I think answers will emerge. But I think it's important to be positive about it, especially in the West. I think, I still today have a wonder for technology. Growing up, I didn't have a phone for a while. Telephone, we waited 5 years. We got a telephone. It fundamentally changed our life. People came to our home to make phone calls. I still remember the joys of technology, and I think that'll be true for AI. So it's important for us to explain that and bring the world along with us.
But what you describe is, let's say, AI creates or has a common good nature. But then you have AI plays a very important role in surveillance of efforts by governments. It is a key factor also in cybersecurity. How can you avoid that AI at the end leads us not into a totalitarian state?
To me, the only way to solve some of these deeper issues is global multilateral frameworks. So to me, the kind of questions you're asking needs to involve G7, G20 discussions, and countries. We have to agree to demilitarize AI, and I think that's a common goal countries should work towards. There's no other way to solve it. One of the good things about it is AI is kind of an equalizer. So I think over time people will realize it's tough to weaponize it because everyone will have the same ability back, and I think that gives a framework for us to think about. So you need a global stand down, global consensus not to use it for military purposes. Going to be very hard, but I think is the kind of framework we all need to work towards, and that's the only way out of it, I think.